I moved into the apartment because it was cheap. Too cheap, honestly. A sixth-floor unit in an old brick building wedged between two newer complexes. It had that antique charm landlords brag about, the kind that smells faintly of dust and old carpet no matter how much you clean. I told myself I could deal with it. I just needed my own place. The neighbors were odd. The old woman 2 doors down never blinked when she talked to me, like her eyelids were broken. The guy across the hall always stood too still, as if waiting for something only he could hear. Even the elevator had a personality. Jerky cables, shuddering doors, a groan that sounded like a voice under strain. But I figured every old building had quirks. The first strange thing happened the night after I finished unpacking. I was trying to shove an empty box into the back of my bedroom closet when it slipped behind a loose panel on the right wall. I heard it fall farther than it should have, like there was empty space behind the plaster. Curiosity won. I pulled at the panel. It cracked away in my hands. Behind it was a narrow, dark cavity, almost like a crawl space, but vertical. A dusty wooden ladder ran down into darkness. A draft of cold air drifted up, carrying a sour smell like old rainwater and mold. I should have sealed it back up, but instead I grabbed my phone and shined the light downward. The beam hit something carved into the interior wall. Tall, thin shapes that looked like distorted human figures. They were drawn with long limbs and hollow ovals for faces. Below them carved words, "Don't listen when it calls." I felt that phrase punch through me in a way I couldn't explain. That night I left the closet door shut and slept on the couch. Around 2 a.m. I woke up to a faint tapping. Soft, rhythmic, coming from the bedroom. The closet, to be exact. I didn't move at first. I just listened. The tapping continued, growing slightly faster, then pausing, then came again, accompanied by what sounded like breathing, slow, almost disappointed sounding. I grabbed a broom and edged toward the bedroom. When I opened the door, the tapping stopped instantly. The closet door was cracked open. I swear I left it shut. I nudged it open with the broom. The panel I'd removed was still off, the hole behind it open. My phone's flashlight caught something just below the edge of the crawlspace opening. Fingers. Long, pale fingers curling around the ladder's top rung before slipping down into the darkness. I slammed the closet door shut and shoved a dresser in front of it. The next morning I told the landlord. He laughed. "It's an old building," he said. "Old sounds, old drafts. You wouldn't believe how many new tenants think the walls are haunted." He smirked like the punchline was me. I asked a few neighbors. That went worse. The old woman smiled with those unblinking eyes and whispered, "Best not to poke holes where walls have grown closed." The man across the hall tilted his head, listened to some silent sound, and murmured, "If you heard it once, it already knows your name." I tried to laugh it off, but that night the breathing returned. This time, it wasn't coming from the closet. It was coming from under my bed. Slow, heavy, wet. I backed out of the room and slept in the hallway outside my apartment. The next day, I went back in only to grab my charger and a change of clothes. When I flipped on the lights, something felt different, colder, and the closet door, despite the dresser shoved in front of it, was once again slightly open, enough for darkness to peek through. The dresser hadn't moved, but the door had. That didn't make sense. Nothing made sense. I decided to record the sounds. Maybe if I had proof, someone would take me seriously. That night I left my phone in the bedroom with the voice recorder running while I slept on the couch. At exactly 3:12 a.m., something woke me, a screeching electronic distortion echoing from the phone's speaker. I ran in to find the room freezing, the closet door wide open, and the phone vibrating violently on the floor. When I replayed the recording, my stomach turned. For 20 minutes, nothing but room noise. Then faintly, "Where are you?" A voice that sounded like mine, but wrong. Drawn out, stretched thin, like it had been copied too many times. Then came the tapping again, closer and closer until it seemed to be right on the microphone. Then silence. Then a whisper inches from the recorder. "I'm still learning your voice." I dropped the phone and left the apartment, stayed in a cheap motel 3 blocks away. I planned to return in daylight, pack my things, and leave for good. When I returned that afternoon, something felt wrong the moment I stepped inside. The air tasted stale, heavy. My apartment was too quiet. Not the usual city noise leaking through the windows. It felt sealed off. I noticed my closet immediately. The crawlspace panel was fixed back in place, perfectly, as if it had never been touched. I backed away slowly, trying not to breathe too loudly. My instinct screamed that something else was in the apartment, watching, listening. Then I heard myself, my own voice coming softly from the bedroom.
Hey, come here a second.
It was exactly my tone, exactly my cadence, but I hadn't said anything. I ran. I didn't look back. I bolted down 6 flights of stairs and onto the street. I didn't sleep that night or the next. All I knew was I wasn't going back. A week later, I got a call from the landlord. He said the next tenant complained about strange voices in the walls. He joked about sending me the bill for the damage to the closet. I hung up on him. But 2 nights ago, this is the part that scares me, someone buzzed my new building's intercom at 1:43 a.m. When I answered, there was breathing, slow, wet, familiar. Then my own voice whispered, "Found you," and the line went dead. If you're enjoying these true horror stories, make sure to subscribe to Ultra Spooky and hit that notification bell so you never miss when we upload new nightmares. This was just one of many terrifying true stories from the Ultra Spooky archives. Stay tuned for our next tale of horror.